What's up, everybody? Welcome to the CopyandContent.AI Report. I'm Jim Edwards, along with the inimitable.
Stu Smith.
All right. So we are here today for our weekly podcast. I had an interesting conversation with my grandson. Um, I'm like, I got a podcast at 10. He's like, you have a podcast? I said, yeah. Stu and I do a podcast. Really? What's it about? Business stuff? Oh, cool. Do you think I would enjoy it? I said, well, probably. Oh, well, tell Stu I said hi. There you go.
Okay.
So he's getting ready to head off to VMI for his
How did
rat
his intro
line.
week go?
What's that?
How did his intro week go out there? Didn't he do a
It
course out there for a couple of days or a
no,
couple of weeks?
he took a whole class. He was there for 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Got a lay
regular
of the land.
summer school. Yeah, he said he's really glad that he did that.
Did a bunch
He
of his classmates do that? Is that part of their training or was it
it's
optional?
optional. And it was interesting to hear some of the stories. They had one kid who just decided in the middle of the night he was done.
Hmm,
And so
that happens.
he left the barracks, walked to McDonald's. I have no idea how far McDonald's is at 3 a.m. and called his mom.
Damn.
Campus police was looking for him because he was missing. Because this ain't like your typical liberal
Nope.
arts college where you get to, come and go as you please and have rights. They expect
Yeah.
you to go to school and be in the barracks, and they have a dude walking guard fire watch 24
Damn.
24/7. They have somebody walking. Um,
Legit.
and anyway, he said that the mom said, "Okay, well, we'll bring him back in August." And they looked at her and said, "No, you won't. He's done.
Wow.
He's out."
Wow.
They had another guy that did something not good, and they were like, campus cops snatched him out of a barracks room he shouldn't have been in,
Hmm.
and they let him know that he was done and was never coming back. And a bunch of the upperclassmen counselors let him know that they better never see him again.
Damn.
So it just interesting. They had several kids quit, had a couple situations, kids coming from out of state that had never even visited the campus, who were then like, what do you mean there's no air conditioning? What do you mean there are no
Well, it's a hot
screens?
few weeks too, man. Oh,
Yeah. What do you mean there are no screens on the windows? Um, just in the barracks. So he was
yeah.
telling me in the classrooms, all the academic buildings are air conditioned, and Chow Hall's air conditioned. And he was telling me that he's like, you know, I never really appreciated ice until this summer. I said, what do you mean, John? He said, well, you're not allowed to have an ice maker in your room. And so everybody was hoarding ice at the chow hall into their little coolers or into their thermal mug thingies and bringing it back to the room and praying that you still had some cool water, at night. He said, I
Dang.
really like ice. So it's just,
Hey, it makes you appreciate the little things. Some of
yeah,
those training programs will, for sure. Well, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah. So his push up form has improved.
I would imagine
Um,
that's the way it
but
works.
his volume has not. And I was kind
Mm.
of mean yesterday. Not mean, it wasn't mean, but yesterday was pull up day. You know, the way you got us do push on Monday, pull on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, fun one.
And so, I've been losing a little weight, Stu. Been down about 10 pounds on the Weight Watchers again.
Makes pull-ups
And
easier.
yeah, no kidding. So we're both alternating on the bar, and he does 3 with a little bit of band assistance. And so I put him on the TRX, and then I jumped on the bar and did 15 in a row. And I turned around, and he's like, damn, Grandpa. I said, hey, it just got to practice. So
Yeah.
anyway, that was, I said, you get there, buddy. So anyway, sad to see him go.
Yeah. Good stuff. I can't wait to work out with my grandson.
There you
That'll
go. Well,
be,
you got to get one first.
I know, got to get one first. Or a granddaughter. I don't care.
And there you
Working out
go.
with one of my relatives in the future.
That's right. Um, so I apologize if we have any kind of technical issues. The power keeps going in and out. The generator keeps turning on and off. Cables going in and out. It's just been one heck of a morning, but we will hold the good thought that we'll be able to get this done.
Let's do it. Let's talk shop.
Okay, so
See
Stu,
what's going on.
how is it going with your how's it going with your new couple classes that you are selling? You got your video, you got your
Never quit
what else?
mindset
Okay.
course.
You got the course and you got the video. How are those things going?
Good. Good. I haven't sold many never quit mindset courses probably in the last month. Like it kind of died down a little bit. So I gotta reinvigorate that one. But the
Okay.
new never quit mindset, or sorry, the never quit stretching basketball court yoga video that you told me to do
Bullied
15
you
years ago,
into.
15 years ago, and I finally pulled the trigger on it, got it done. Um,
Uh-huh.
is doing really well. In fact, I even got my cover from Fiverr, um, which I'm testing out this week to see how it does compared to the homemade cover that I made for it last week.
So over here on StuSmithFitness.com, we have the Never Quit Mindset book. You also
Yep.
have the Never Quit Mindset course. And then you got your Never Quit stretching video. The Yeah, I told you what I thought. I think
Yeah.
it's cool. I think it's. I mean, my only issue is that it looks
Looks
kind of
like a
like a
book.
book cover.
I mean,
Um,
basically it is. I mean, the
I
same
don't.
guy who designs all my other book covers, I said, make it look like all my other stuff, but big word video and a little circle with a triangle in it to make it look like you press it to get a video.
Yeah.
So,
Only thing I would try would be maybe a red thing, so it looked like push it on.
YouTube.
You make
Yeah,
it look like
YouTube
it's a
thing.
YouTube. Everybody understands kind of what that looks like.
Yeah.
Um, but very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Never Quit Mindset course is what's up, Sonny? What's up, Dave? What's up, Vicky? Um,
Is a continuous upsell on all my products,
yeah,
as you can see.
yeah. I mean, well, let me ask you this: when was the last time you singly promoted that?
Mm. It's probably
Been a
been a
month?
couple of weeks. Yeah, maybe a month even.
Okay, so that's a great example of you. Whatever you're promoting or following up with is probably going to be the thing that most people are going to be paying attention to.
Yes.
And that's not good, or I mean, it's neither good nor bad. That's why we position it as upsell, OTO, back end offer, follow up, all that good stuff. Which one of the things that also, what's up, Adrian? We are going to talk about today, kind of to prep for next week's masterclass, is on follow-up funnels. And there are three main types of follow-up funnels. And the reason why you do follow-up funnels is to make sales of stuff that people maybe are aware of, maybe aren't aware of, but you're actively engaged in a sequence of communication with them for a specific outcome, usually, which is to buy the thing that they saw and didn't buy yet, or to get them the thing that they bought and then get them to buy other stuff.
Nice.
What's up, Paul? What's up, Larry? So let me ask you this. Do you have, inside of the way you're set up inside of Shopify, do do you have any kind of an abandoned cart opportunity type thing? Like people add something to their cart and
Yes.
then they don't follow through, or they check out, or they start to check out. I got to be careful. This thing's trying to take my money. I ain't giving you 218 bucks, Steve Smith. Um, but do you have that opportunity to do abandoned cart emails?
Yes.
Okay. Do you do that?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me
In fact,
about,
you should get something if you have that in your cart.
yeah, but I didn't give it in my email
Oh,
yet.
it might take. I think it might take a 12 to 24 hours or something like that. But
Okay. So
yeah.
tell me about your abandoned cart sequence. What does that look like? What happens?
Well, let me see.
Okay.
I'm looking for it right now,
Okay.
and but basically what happens is like um, they're gonna get an email
Uh-huh.
if they put in their email in the process and left it in their um, left it
Okay.
with a link, a direct link to the copy um, URL, like of the store of their checkout. So they don't even have to go through the click or whatever. Um, it's going to take them right to where they left off.
Okay.
A
Cool.
direct link to it.
Is there any verbiage or anything in it? Is it just one email? What kind of how does it
Yeah,
work?
it's just one email. It's just a quick one that says, I'm trying to, once again, I'm trying to find it here.
That's okay.
Uh,
I have a nasty habit of just springing crap on you.
yeah, yeah. So it's got this little abandoned checkout process that says customer abandons checkout, then check this out. Check if customer abandons checkout on the online store or they abandon it within the cart, and it has a little process of how that goes. And I can
Okay.
tell you my conversions from that as
Okay.
well.
Do you have any control over it?
Yeah, there's
Like
the
what gets sent?
automations, and I can control exactly what goes in it.
Okay.
I just need to reacquaint myself with the process.
Okay.
So,
So one of the things that when you're doing an abandoned email card sequence, typically it's a situation where one of three things is happening that people abandon a cart. Okay. One, they something happens. The dog is crossing its legs by the door, needs to go out. They get a phone call, someone knocks on the
oh yeah,
door,
yeah,
something happens that they just, okay, I'll come back to this later. Because you
yep,
think about when somebody's actively engaged in buying something and they're going through the process and they're getting ready to check out or do whatever, um, they are as they're as into it as they can be, and so anything that breaks that concentration is going to affect your sales. So the first email that you want to send in an abandoned cart sequence is just like a friend say, "Hey, you left something cool in your cart. Just a reminder. I mean, it's still here,
yep.
and here's why people want it. It's a big benefit thing, but just a gentle nudge." Another reason why people abandon the cart is because something happens that makes them wonder if this is a great deal or whether this is the best price or whether this will work for them. It's like they get cold feet as they're going through the process, especially the more. That's why the fewer clicks you can have in the process, the better. I
Mm,
want them just going through and buying. So then the next email that you can send an abandoned cart email sequence is basically testimonials or proof. Some type of, hey, you're still waiting here for you. Here's what so and so had to say about this product. And that's the thing though, is that each one of your sequences is going to have to be created for each individual product if you're going to do this second one. because you can't say, "Hey, everybody loves the air assault PFT training book," and it's like, well, I was kind of looking at your old man stretching video, so that doesn't really persuade me of doing anything. So some type of proof, some type of story, something to make them believe that this will work for them and that it's worth the price. The last one, because pretty much the only a three email sequence is pretty much all that's going to work with an abandoned cart. They put it in their cart. They're either going to buy it or they're not. And some, 1 in 100 chuckleheads will come back in a month or whatever. But once you get past these three, you're pissing in the wind. So the urgency one, this is where you use some sort of fear of missing out. You could use some type of an incentive. So you say, hey, I sent you a couple of emails. I know that this is in your best interest to grab this thing, so I'll sweeten the pot and I'll throw in an extra bonus. I'll throw in an extra ebook. I'll throw in an extra this or whatever. This is a great recycling of unadvertised bonuses. So let's say, for example, with your never quit stretching video, one of the things that you include with that is a PDF of all the different moves and all that other stuff.
Yep.
Let's say, and do you tell them about that PDF on the sales page, or you just kind of include it?
It's as soon as they buy it, it's immediately downloadable.
Right, but do they know they're going to get it before they buy?
Good question.
Okay,
I
let's
think
say
so.
they didn't.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say that that is truly a valuable unadvertised bonus.
Okay.
So they don't know they're going to get it. So in the urgency thing, it said, "Hey, I've sent you a couple emails. This is the last time I'm going to contact you, but in order to kind of incentivize you, I want to also offer you when you buy the video, I will include a PDF that has full color pictures of each and every one of the basketball court yoga moves, or never quit stretching basketball yoga, whatever the title is, and you can download that immediately upon accessing the product." So I haven't promised them that they're going to get that. I also haven't advertised that they're going to get that. So I can legitimately say, hey, I want to sweeten the pot and you'll be able to get this. So in their mind, it's like, okay, he's throwing something extra in that, yes, you would throw it in as an unadvertised bonus for anybody. You're just bringing attention to it. There's nothing underhanded about it. You're like, oh, well, everybody gets that. Yeah, but nobody knows they're going to get it until after they've bought. And so if you have a problem with that, you just create another unadvertised bonus that you
Hmm.
use to incentivize them, and you give that to people, to everybody who buys, but you just draw attention to it here. One of the biggest mistakes I see people making with this last one is that they will offer a discount. They'll say, hey, if you come and take advantage of this right now, here's a coupon code that will give you 10% off for the next 24 hours because we really want your business. The problem is that you train people to know that if they add something to their cart, they can just wait a couple of days and you'll give them 10% off.
Oh.
I learned this from my sister. My mind doesn't think this way, but my sister's like, "Oh yeah, I do that." There's power going off. Maybe it
uh,
will come back on. I don't know.
well, I
I'm on
still see you.
battery power. I'm on battery power right now. Um, Now everything's gonna beep, and maybe it'll keep beeping. Dear God. Anyway, thanks, power company. Charge a premium for whatever. Anyway, my sister was the one who said, "Yeah, I do it all the time. I add something to my cart, and then I wait a couple days to see if they'll send me an email to give me 10% off." I said, "Wow,
Genius.
that's diabolical." She says, "Yeah, but everybody does it, so why not?"
Yeah.
And it's just like Go Ruck that trains everybody to wait for Christmas in July. I don't buy anything from Go Ruck until July because I know they're going to do a big sale. And so I'm a huge proponent of add value. I am a major critic of give a discount.
Mm.
I think discounts are a bad thing to train people to do. Would much rather add a bunch of value than discounting the price. So again, not everybody, and you're like, well, I have funnels. I can't do that. I don't have a abandoned cart thing. Actually, most funnel builders will allow you to do a two-step checkout where they give you their name and email in step one, and then they go to step two where they get the credit card information and stuff. And some people even go to the point of not even telling them what the price is. You got to go and click the button to go to the thing, and you initiate the checkout. And it's almost like a checkout page and a forced opt-in page had a dumpster baby together. And it's a way to really build up your list. um, So anyway, that's abandoned cart. That would be your best abandoned cart email. I got to go hit the button on the refrigerator so it'll stop beeping.
Okay. Well,
So anyway,
I can tell you that I have abandoned cart and abandoned checkout automation flows,
okay,
and one is 4 hours later,
okay,
and the other
okay,
one is 6 hours later.
okay. So great. 4 hours, give them a nudge, and six
Yeah.
hours, give them proof. And then, can you add another one, or is that all you get?
Um, let's see. All my automations are listed. They are abandoned checkout, abandoned cart, and that's it. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So if you can modify those at all, I would do the nudge and maybe a proof plus urgency,
yeah,
you know, or do the nudge plus the add value and then do the proof.
yeah.
Hey, I noticed you walked away. I wanted to let you know I've got an unadvertised bonus that I'd like to give you. That's this and this, and see if that helps. Because I mean, you got nothing to lose
Right.
by doing it. Um, So that's the first one. Well, that's the third one, but that's the first one we talk about. Um, if we're talking about freebies and a freebie follow up, you need to really differentiate between whether it's a free event versus a free thing, because it's a very different follow up sequence. So if you're following up from an event, you have the pre-event follow up and then the post-event follow up. So it's really two things that you got to do there. And the key things with the free event is really day before, day of, and then cart close. Those are really the three phases. So what percentage of people you think sign up for an event the day of the event?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question.
So
Probably not a majority, and then they
so
sign up for it like the day of the event.
GoToWebinar did a study of like 250,000 webinars, and they found that over half the people who register for an event register on the day of the event.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, and then it was incrementally like the first time you announce it, you get a bump, and then it's trickle, 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 then day before, and then half the people sign up on the day of. So, key is when you're promoting it, you got to do it at least 2 to 3 days out, start, just to give people a heads up. and then but don't count on a whole lot of signups. And then the day of the event, you need to send two emails. You need to send one in the morning and you need to send one an hour before. And it would be interesting if we had time to look at our own opt-in times and other stuff like that, and days. And I, I've never really looked at our stuff. But then the cart close, when you do an event, the first big bump of sales comes right there on the event, within an hour or two. And then the vast majority of sales come on the last day and at the 11th hour. So on the last day of whatever your cart close is, so let's say you're doing your webinar on a Tuesday and your cart closes on Saturday night, you need to send one email on, well, you send other emails, but there's a sequence, and we'll talk about those on Tuesday, when we do the masterclass. But the big key is on that last day, you send an email basically saying it's going away, and you recap the deal and the big payoffs. And then that evening, you send a final courtesy reminder. My thing's doing whatever. You send a final courtesy reminder. And from my experience, anywhere between 20 to 40% of the sales that you make on that last day happen in that last hour.
Nice.
So it's not like people, wait or anything. It's just people wait, people respond to a deadline. And so when you understand that, then that's when you're going to get your best results. As opposed to, so that's an event. Now, following up a thing, when someone requests like a free report or free whatever, dude, you got about 48 hours to get them to sign up, or it goes out, at just like anybody else. Holy crap. Um, so what that means is I'm looking at a three email sequence with a freebie follow up. It's like, and it's very similar to this. Okay. When somebody requests a free thing, I send an immediate email with the thing plus a pitch with link or an ad to something that amplifies the thing. In other words, it can't be unrelated.
Hmm.
So if you were, let's say that somebody requested a free um, never quit mindset checklist.
Okay.
So, you say, hey, Stu Smith, here's the never quit mindset checklist that you requested. This will help you to this benefit, this benefit, this benefit. If you would like to put this process on steroids, I have a book and a training program called the Never Quit Mindset that goes in depth into spec ops, what I've learned over the last 30 years, used by that kind of thing. And I know that it will take it'll take the effect from this checklist and 100x it. Imagine being able to do this and this and this and this. Click here to check it out. So I don't wait. It used to be you could wait, like develop a little relationship and report. Hey, here's the thing, and we'll be
Hmm.
following up. Nah, man, their inbox is more crowded than a flea market with stolen stereos in downtown any big city. So boom, immediately they're getting a pitch, and you combine this with the confirmation page of when they whatever they're buying, I mean whatever they're requesting, on the confirmation page of when they make that request, there should be a big old ad, a one-time offer style copy for the thing that you're going to be pitching them in the email. Okay. So then the next email that you're going to send, so tomorrow, so 24 hours later, you're going to be sending them basically a social proof email. This works for if you want to be mentally tough, listen to what these guys have to say. So you have a testimonial from somebody who made it through buds. You have a testimonial from someone who overcame some major business challenge. You have a testimonial from someone who lost a bunch of weight. Whatever would be the three big things, and then
Nice.
you close them to this. All right. It's just straight gangster. This is, these people got this result. If you want to nut up and get these results, you need to get this. Then the third email, which is going to come 24 hours after that. So, total of 48 hours from when they made that immediate thing, is some sort of an urgency email. Again, a couple ways you can do this. One, you can use an unadvertised bonus. So you are legitimately sweetening the pot for them. They just, hey, I'll throw in this and this. Now, everybody gets it, but you don't tell them that. And it's not told on the website. So you are legitimately sweetening the pot. The other thing is you can use a tool like Deadline Funnel, which this is not an affiliate link for them. I used to know the owner, but then he sold the company. But you legit, if you want to create an urgency and a legit deadline for somebody, then you got to use software that legitimately creates an individualized deadline for them. Because as soon as they know, oh, they're full of crap, this offer doesn't end in 24 hours, I can go buy it whenever, then that makes you a liar, and people don't usually buy from liars.
Hmm.
So again, if you can't legitimately use it ends at midnight, only 24 hours left, only 4 hours left kind of thing, then what you need to do is sweeten the pot with unadvertised bonuses and urgency like that, so that you can shake people off the tree. But pretty much, again, once you've gone a total of 48 hours, they're gone. They either bought or they ain't. They're in your general pop follow up, and you keep following up, and you send them your weekly newsletter and your Thursday teaser and your Monday motivation and whatever else you're sending. But if they don't buy within the first 48 hours, chances are they ain't anytime soon. So everything is focused on the original reason that they signed up for the thing. Don't be jumping around, I wouldn't offer a thing like a checklist for uh, uh, for going through and editing your emails or editing your sales letter or polishing your sales letter, and then pitch them on how to write a book. That wouldn't make
Hmm.
any sense. But how many times do people do stuff like that? It's like, hey, here's your copywriting checklist, and I got this course on how to write a book. They're
Yeah.
hot about whatever the focus is, and that's what you got to keep it on. But again, just think about human nature. Okay, communicating with somebody who ordered something for free or asked for something for free, what's the number one concern they have? Right there when they've signed up, what's the number one concern that they have?
Did their order go through?
Where's my thing?
Right. Yeah.
Where's my thing? So whether it's paid or whether it's free, you got to give them the thing. But then, hey, here's the thing, and here's how to 10x or 100x the results from the thing with my paid offer. You don't wait. You don't be bashful. Punch them in the face with it.
Hmm.
Okay. C-Ray would say I didn't rotate my hips properly. That was just for illustrative purposes. Um, then proof. Does this work? Yep, works for all these other guys. If you want this, you need it. And then why should I buy it now? Well, here's a reason to go buy it now. Um, so anyway, those are a couple of them on the workshop on Tuesday. I'm going to go in depth into the sequence that you use for a purchase email sequence. So a very specific set of emails that follow ups the right way. It positions you, thanks them, builds value, builds a relationship, and introduces other stuff. Um, but we have tons and tons of tools inside of copying content to help you write these emails, either um, to create a full on sequence automatically, or tools to help you create those emails a la carte as you need to assemble a sequence.
Hmm.
Um, so is it demo time, or do you have any thoughts or questions, Stu?
No, this is just, fascinating stuff that I think we all just need to like not forget it and be consistent with it because I'm looking at my abandoned carts and luckily I have an automation for it because that thing's out of my head
Right.
as something I should check regularly.
Well, and I mean, something's better than nothing. You've
Yeah,
got something
right.
in there. Um,
And
so
looking at it, it says like, "Hey, you left this in the cart. Do you still want it?" But I sometimes I will offer a 10% discount. My recent one, it does not offer that. It's just a reminder.
there you go.
Yeah.
Couple really good questions coming in. Let's see. So Anne asks, so pitch on confirmation page OTO, then add that to first email. Would you change the price then since the first view of it was an OTO? So an OTO one-time offer. So that's a great question. And I'm going to give you two answers. One, you want to test. But in my opinion, and if I'm hearing the question right, the question is, okay, they ask for the free thing, and then you take them the confirmation page and like, hey, hey, Stu Smith here, and thanks for requesting my checklist. Check your email in about 5 or 10 minutes. And while I got you, how would you like to 10x your mental toughness? The checklist is going to help you, absolutely, and it delivers on the promises that I made. But I want to tell you about a course that was actually been about 20 years in the making, or 25 years in the making, and contains all the knowledge that I have that has enabled me to have the highest graduation rate of SEAL candidates through BUDS. I've helped people become this and this and this, and then you just list off, and we've helped kids be better students and everything just by increasing their mental toughness. And it's called the Never Quit Mindset course. And in about 2 hours, I'm gonna give you 20 years worth of mental toughness training that you can apply today. And because I know that you are serious about this because you requested the checklist, on my website, I sell this every day for $197, but I'm going to give you a special price right here, right now on this page. Now, what I would tell you not to do, unless you want to redo that freaking video every time you test a price, you say, I'm going to give you a special price right here, right now on this page. Then you can test price without having to redo the video.
Nice.
Then what I would recommend is you just start testing price. Now, the question is the OTO price. Do I make that the same price that they see in the pitch on the follow-up emails? And my immediate reaction is yes, simply for simplicity's sake, because then you're having to wire in all these things like a deadline funnel or something like that, where it just isn't it's just sometimes technology, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, especially when you're testing something out. Ultimately, sure, you say, hey, I'm going to make you this offer on this page right now, and you're never going to see this again. Well, here's the problem. They can see it again, especially if it's a freebie offer. They can see it again as soon as they go sign up again.
Mm,
Oh, well, I can just make it that if it's a duplicate email, they can use a different email. They know they can get back to this page. So what we want to do is we want to hype up the reason why they signed up for the original thing and really play on that. Then we want to play on the social proof and don't you want to be like them? And then we want to play on the urgency and I'm willing to sweeten the pot and raise the value. That's the kind of thing that us mere mortals who don't have a coax cable plugged in the back of our head to have all these different freaking 9 different pathways in a workflow can just get this done
that's
and
cool.
see if it's going to work or not. And then if you start getting into crazy amounts of traffic, sure, you could try other stuff. But in this particular case, on a freebie, I wouldn't have one price on the OTO and then a higher price on the follow up stuff unless I told them that. Now,
Right.
on an event, absolutely. A lot of times what we'll do on an event, and I'll just tell y'all, regular price on the website's 97 bucks a month, 997 a year. On an event, oftentimes we will give a 50% discount on the first month. So you can join for 49 bucks and then it's 97 bucks a month. Okay, that is an incentive that we use on an event because then that gives me the opportunity to close the cart. Now, some chucklehead can wait until next time and say, "Okay, I'll wait for the next event." Okay, you're a chucklehead. I mean, it's a whole month of lost opportunity for you. So, but that's on just a freebie, you got to keep it simple. That's why OTOs work really well even on tripwires, where a tripwire is in effect a freebie that they pay for. It's
Mm,
something small, high value, let's say 20 bucks. Somebody pays 20 bucks for something, and then you make an OTO with a special price. They don't take it. And then when you do your follow up, you say, hey, I told you it was this. I still make you a good deal on it. But you always want to tell the truth. And if you say you're never going to see this particular offer, away from this page again, tell the truth. Okay. So, but the chances of them then going back through and spending another 20 bucks to buy another tripwire in order to be able to see this special offer again, probably, those are slim, you know. So, we're going to talk more on Tuesday. The masterclass on Tuesday will be at 11 o'clock, and we'll be sending out the sign up stuff for it. So, but that's a freebie versus a free event. So even though they're both free follow up sequences, they are different. And that's really why I much prefer events over just straight, here's something for free. I've always preferred an event, teleseminars, webcasts, webinars, lives, that kind of stuff. I've always preferred that because people know in order to come to an event has a built in deadline, it
mm,
has a built in scarcity, it has other deadlines that have to happen as a result. It's on this day. So obviously, if we have the webinar, if we have the replay, we can't leave the replay up forever. So here's the replay, here's the offer, here's the cart close, and say goodbye. That I've just always preferred events over just a free thing because most people, how many, I mean, how much of your hard drive is made up of free crap that you have requested over the years? For some people, they've got, just drive full of it. I normally don't request anything for free anymore, simply because I know what's going on. It's just
Mm.
not. And the other thing I think is going to happen with, tripwire follow up stuff, which is the same as a purchase. But if you want to think about anyway, I'm getting a little bit too in depth, but I'm a bigger fan of a tripwire where somebody pays for something. And I have recently bought a couple of people's tripwire products and they sucked.
Mm.
And just because you're not charging that much for something, you still got to deliver on the promise in order, because the whole purpose of the tripwire is to build trust with people, to build a relationship. And I had, okay, so I mean, I'm not to tell tales out of school, but I will just tell you. So, well known marketer made an offer for a quote unquote piece of AI software. And I've known this person for 25 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so I said, okay, let's look at their funnel. I'll pay him the money. I think it was $7 or something like that. And the sales letter made it sound like it was the most amazing thing since sliced bread. I mean, it was a really good sales letter. And after going through their funnel, which was, in my mind, a giant, just straight money grab of selling old shit,
Mm.
when we finally got to the thing that I had paid my $7 for, all they were doing was selling a link to a GPT on Chat GPT that if you knew the link, you could have gotten it for free.
Mm.
And I was very disappointed by that, but also excited and inspired because the process works, but you also got to follow through on the delivery at the end. And that's something I see a lot of marketers. It's like, man, some of these marketers are freaking brilliant. But if they put half the effort into delivering on the promises that they put all the effort into making in their amazing sales materials, the world would be a much more amazing place.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was 10x hype and minus 50 on the delivery. When I saw that it was literally just a link to a GPT on ChatGPT, I was like, damn, that's wow. That's, as they say, as the Brits say, that's cheeky.
Mm.
Um,
Could at
so,
least doctored it up a little bit. Made it look like it was their own,
but
system.
there's
You
no
know.
way to doctor it because
No.
they don't have their own system.
Oh yeah.
It
Okay.
was just, hey, here's the thing.
Wow.
Um, Paul asked, would you put a countdown timer in the email? I know that there are different ways to do that. So if you could do it and do it legit, sure. Um, Brad says first OTO could have extra bonuses that disappear too. Yeah, that's another way. I would rather remove bonuses or add bonuses than try to do stuff that just you can't really control. Um, I am not a big fan of PLR, private label rights stuff. And the stupid thing with PLR is like now that you have like ChatGPT or something, you could go make better than anything that people are doing with private label rights shit just by going and asking cheap GPT to spit out some crap for you. So I don't know how anybody's still making money with PLR, but just I guess they're just making money off people's ignorance. Um, so anyway, so big thing Tuesday masterclass. If you're already a member of CopyandContent.AI, you need to be there because I'm going to be demonstrating a surprise new genie as well. A surprise new genie, Stu.
Cool. Are
That
you going to
no
tell us
one.
the title to give us a little feel for
Well,
what it is?
it's yeah, it's going to be an abandoned cart genie.
Oh, cool. Well, that's
So don't write your
that's a nice little segue.
yeah. So we're going to be introducing the abandoned cart email genie. Um, and then we also that same day, just as a reminder, we're going to be doing genie hacking live that day as well. Let me double check. I'm 99% sure I'm not saying the wrong thing.
Is it
Um,
Wednesday after our show or after your?
oh no, yeah. It's Wednesday. My bad. My bad. My bad. I
Yeah,
knew it was somewhere in there. You and I would be together for 2 hours in a row. It'd be the genie hacking live will be next Wednesday after the copy and content report.
yeah.
Um, so be there, be square. Understand that yes, the money is in the follow up, but it's in the follow up in a very specific way. And now it's really is turning into wham bam thank you ma'am. You ain't gonna have somebody request something for you for free and then follow up with them and them actually pay attention for a week. You got about 48 hours to poop or get off the pot. And I think that's one reason why people are doing challenges and other things like that, because that's if you do a free challenge, it's still it's like a free challenge is like a freebie in an event, and a tripwire all kind of had a three-way in a dumpster behind the Piggly Wiggly. You're not sure who the parents are, but everyone was involved. And so it's the cool thing though is that if you just step back and think about the human beings on the other end of the communication stream is is actually simple. If you really think about it, it's not that complicated.
Mm.
So anyway, this is fun. I didn't do any demo. Sorry. I probably should, but it's too late.
It's all right. We'll make up for it.
There you go.
We'll,
All
we'll have
right,
a show of nothing but demos next week.
we could do that. We
Yeah,
could demo. We could demo. We'll do nothing but all demos all the time next week.
there you go.
Cool. All right. All right. Well, we'll see y'all soon. If you need to get in shape or fix your mindset, head on over to stewsmithfitness.com. If you're a member at CopyandContent.AI already, thank you. Head on over and use the tools. And if you're not a member, join us. CopyandContent.AI. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.